Do you ever find yourself underestimating how long your projects are going to take or how long it's going to take you to get somewhere? So you end up late or you end up stressed out as you get close to a deadline and realize there is no way you're actually going to meet it. If this happens over and over and over again for you, there might be a specific reason, a specific term that applies to you. I'm just going to read you a little passage from how this happened to me in my book, It's About Time. All right. So a while back, I posed this lighthearted question on social media after what I thought would be a 15-minute errand turned into an hour and a half long journey through a maze of tempting detours and hundreds of unhurried weekend shoppers at IKEA. Yeah, I actually thought I was going to run into IKEA right quick and be out in 15 minutes. Anyway, you can imagine how that went. So here's the question I posed. Why did I think I could run into IKEA right quick on a Saturday morning? A friend who had studied applied positive psychology with me in graduate school at the University of Pennsylvania replied with a one sentence comment that stopped me in my tracks. It explained in the simplest, most undeniable way my recurring problem of underestimating how much time I need to get anything done. He said, "Because you are an optimist." I stared at the screen in astonishment. It was a 5 word observation, but it was a light bulb moment for me. TIDS optimism is actually a thing. TIDS is a Swedish word connotating time. So, time optimism. You just might be a time optimist. You underestimate how much time you need to get ready and get out the door on time. You underestimate how long the project is going to take. Sometimes you underestimate how many resources you need in order to get something done. But here's the good news. Once you recognize something as a problem, you can be intentional about undoing that problem. And sometimes that means asking the person or inviting somebody into the picture that might be a bit more of a pessimist when it comes to time, who might be more willing to cushion it. And if you don't have that person, whatever you estimate, add about 25% to it. So if you think you can get out of the door in an hour, give yourself an hour and 15 minutes, right? So whatever this applies to, whether it's a work project, whether it's just, getting to church on time or getting to a dinner or something you're doing with your family on time, or planning out your bigger vision, your bigger projects. Recognize if you have the tendency to underestimate how much time it takes, because ultimately what this ends up doing is stressing you out. It takes joy out of the journey. It often means that you show up feeling frazzled or like you're barely making it through. It can impact your performance. It impacts how you feel. It impacts this feeling of always having pressure. And you can take that pressure off simply by giving yourself a bit more cushion. So try it. Maybe just today. Just try it. Pad the amount of time you give yourself by at least 25% and see what happens. Here's the good news. You're an optimist. That's a good thing. Optimists set great goals. Optimists have so many things that we need. They're great at leadership and helping people see possibilities. But as an optimist, you can also underestimate how much time and how many resources things take. And if you can recognize that, you can be intentional about giving yourself a little more margin and a little less stress.